And welcome back, folks. Once again, we are back for Game 2 of what is set to be a long slate of games until about 4:40 p.m., which our final game is set to tip off. Nonetheless, this is game number 2, as we got our one-body squad facing off against the Hoopsquad. The Hoopsquad being strong yesterday, we did not get to see them. We got to see their counterparts, however, the older generation of the Hoopsquad, but nonetheless, we get to see them against this one-body squad. And alongside you, I'm Billy Adams with my co-host and color analyst, Jonathan Torres. Looking over at this one-body squad we saw yesterday, as you see at the helm, it was Mr. Aiden Edgecombe scoring 18 points in his debut game yesterday for this one-body squad at this tournament. So Edgecombe going to be one to look out for on the other side. As you see there, Zariah Pritchett working up top, and already it's Bernard Reeves going to the paint. So on one side, looking at already, we got Andrew Ferguson out there, along with Mr. Aiden Stein. We mentioned Aiden Edgecombe's name. Maurice Scarlett was one to watch. He's the starting point guard. As we got a trip to the free throw line already coming for Bernard Reeves. So it's Maurice Scarlett, Aiden Edgecombe, Aiden Zanudis, Aiden Stein, and Andrew Ferguson. Quick shot coming on the other side for Zanudis. Off the marker, rebound the other way for the Hoopsquad. Benjamin DeVoe corralling that one, bringing it down the floor. And casting in on the three is Gavin Lawhorn. So Lawhorn grabs the three. It's a 6-0 advantage already. And the head coach on the side of one body needs a timeout. Again, we are in game 2 of what is set to be a slate of games. Already a minute 4 seconds, 9:50 Eastern time. Again, Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament out here at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus of Pasco County. And again, we are hosting it thanks to the U.S. Amateur Basketball Association right here on the Florida Athletics Network. You can catch us all day long here on YouTube, Twitch streaming, and any other platforms you want to mention, Jonathan?
Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You know, YouTube being my favorite. It's the most accessible. And again, we're here. We'll be following, seeing your comments and even sharing some of them. So if you got a favorite player, team out there, feel free to send over your best wishes and comments to your favorite team or player. And, we might mention them on the air.
And be sure for funsies, too. Submit your favorite Uncrustable flavor, just continuing the trend from yesterday.
And also Uncrustables.
Hey, me and Uncrustables, man, they get me through.
You know what I have today is a public sub.
You had a pub sub?
I have a pub sub.
You have a pub sub.
That's a good topic.
There was
favorite pub sub.
At one point in America, the pub sub was voted the best sub in America. America's choice. It was probably the, I think it's the chicken tender sub, they say. I hear that one's pretty good. I've never had it, however.
You know what? It just seems like too much bread to me.
That's what I thought, too.
Right? The breading on the chicken, the breading on the sandwich, it seems like an overkill. But I did have a chicken tender sandwich.
Chicken tender sandwich?
Yes, which, of course, is pretty much the same thing, just in a sandwich size versus a sub. It was actually really good.
I would imagine that's good. Not even a normal bread, but on like some Texas toast.
There you go.
Like Texas toast with that would sound probably like a good barbecue sandwich.
By the way, congratulations to the Lakeland Fire, who just won the last game that we broadcast here on the Florida Athletics Network. That was a boys' 8th grade elimination game, and so they move on. So, again, congratulations to Lakeland Fire, who moves on in the boys' 8th grade tournament championship.
I gotta say, too, Jonathan, congrats to them. But that was the precedent of what today's contests were going to be like. That Lakeland Fire team did not have an easy path at all.
No.
Somebody was down by 18 points in that first half, and they had it to within 5. They forced 12 turnovers in the second half, scored 10 points off the turnovers, and nearly came back inside that game. So the Lakeland Fire, they're going to be scratching their heads as to what's next.
I'm telling you, if I were one body, I would absolutely be asking for a rematch. Because, again, 8:30 in the morning, man, that is early for a game. Those kids, I mean, again, Lakeland Fire was ready to go, to their credit, and I do honestly think that was their key to the game. They were here, they were warming up before, I'd say, they were here like 8 o'clock in the morning, warming up. By 8:30, they were ready to go. One body, not so much, could have cost them the game.
And remember, no matter what age, preparation is key in any sport that you do at this point, and getting a good board there was Edgecombe. He was one to watch yesterday, folks. He's got quickness, he's got good shot ability, and he has good playmaking. Up top, he's working with Nerese Scarlett. As we see, this Hoopsquad got to an early 6-0 run, but since then, it has been a 4-4 all between these two teams. Maybe a bit of a sleeper start here for this one-body squad as well. So both one-body squads off to slower starts, and the older kids here in high school trying to get off and maybe tie this ball game. 11:56 remains in this first half. Aiden Stein works up top with Scarlett, having a hard time moving around. A lot of screens being set and not a lot happening. We're back the other way. It's Azariah Critton going up, and Critton absorbing that contact like a sponge, putting it in the basket, and the lead is 8. So an excellent job there by Critton. He's got some defensive help up top coming from Benjamin DeVoe. Going up with the hook shot, the sky hook no good, and Ferguson watches it fall into his hands. Second chance opportunity, and there he is, folks. It's Aiden Edgecombe. Edgecombe pulls it to within 5. And we're back the other way with the Hoopsquad up top. Working up is Critton. He had the last finish. Cannot finish that. Ferguson corral. Back the other way we go with Scarlett. He'll work Edgecombe. Can he make it back to that? And it rolls off the front iron. Long deep pass. Excellent job there by Edgecombe.
Great steal, man. Really went for that. Was able to get it into his teammates' hands. Great way to get that turnover.
He's elusive and athletic. We saw him yesterday make a couple quick plays. He had a 9-0 run by himself in their first game. And again, trying to use that finishing ability. But we have a late foul. I think it came for Ferguson.
The vert wasn't bad, but the reach was incredible on that steal.
Reach was incredible indeed. And it looks like we did have a shooting foul. I think they called it on Bernard Reeves. And again, one foul apiece on these teams, so not too much contact happening early.
Which has been rare in this tournament.
That's been rare. I mean, at one point we saw a game go 19, actually it was 26 by my count, 26 fouls in one of our late games yesterday in the first half alone. So fouls could be an issue. The question is, does it happen early? Or is it going to be later when these teams are a little bit more fatigued and more tired and maybe more frustrated? 0 for 2 stint there coming from Ferguson to Wilt, who we saw get a little handsy on the offensive board. He's back right where he left off in yesterday's matchup.
Well, again, these teams put up an impressive game yesterday as we had them here in Court 1, and they are a team to be reckoned with. So this Hoop Squad definitely has their work cut out for them if they want to hang on to this lead.
So it'll be Scarlett up top. We saw Sammy Atari check in. You saw Zachary DeWilt get that putback along with Edgecombe and Zanudis. That is the offense currently as Zanudis works up top, doesn't get the finger roll finish. DeWilt watches it go by. It's back to the Hoop Squad. Up top we go. Caden Ford. Wide open jump shot like it was a warm-up. 15-9 is the advantage for the Hoop Squad.
All air there, real quiet. Beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot indeed. Scarlett taking some contact up top. They'll slow it down just a bit here. Working up top against Gavin Lawhorn. Scarlett drives and finishes. So again, this one-body squad watches it corral right into their hands. Scarlett working. Atari kicking it out. It's Edgecombe, the deep jumper. Rolls off the rim. It's back to the Hoop Squad.
Well, what's working for one body is sticking to the basics. Keep it simple. Go for the easy shots. You know what I mean? Don't try to make these crazy shots, especially coming from behind.
Coming back the other way we go. Oh, and I think Zanudis got called for an offensive foul.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I mean, he was in motion trying to make that shot, I think, before the supposed foul happened.
Saw a couple questionable calls late in yesterday's contest. Everything free. I'd say 5 p.m. yesterday was pretty much an even called game, but nonetheless, we are not referees, so we cannot make the calls.
No, look, I mean, we're not here to be ones to criticize the referees. I'd say 99% of the calls yesterday were accurate, they were fair. But again, I think like the game, the later the game got, I think some of the calls again just got a little bit more questionable.
Atari with a nice spin. He'll kick it out. Zanudis with the shot. The mid-ranger off game. It's back the other way. Here we go. DeVoe. Devoting himself to the rim. He's got a basket. It's a 6-point advantage. Once again, DeVoe. Time 2 going up. And the pass from DeVoe successful. And the shot results in a foul.
Yeah, I mean, pretty hard foul there. Good call on behalf of the ref on that one.
Good call indeed, and Hayden Zanudis might have to sit down. He's got 2 quick fouls already, and that's a bit of a dangerous territory as we are 8:27 away from the end of just the first half. Up top we work here. The Hoop Squad trying to extend their lead. It's 6, and it remains 6. As it's corralled in, it looks to be Tyler Vargas. Atari working up top. Edgecombe has been quiet until now. What we talked about with Aiden Edgecombe, he can get going and get hot from 3. Just got to give him the opportunities. DeVoe tried to get a little shifty, maybe with a behind-the-back action, and unfortunately it goes out. And now what was at one point a 6-point game and sometimes 7, it's down to 3, and the possession prior could be the opportunity now for one body. It'll be Edgecombe working up top. He wants the tie, and back-to-back buckets for that man, number 6 in Aiden Edgecombe.
We got ourselves a ball game, folks.
We've got ourselves a ball game, a 6-0 run to start, but since then, one body has come to life. It'll be Critton working up top. Critton's got a couple baskets. Off the mark, kept alive, and a nice job there coming from Critton. Edgecombe takes it away.
Great steal.
Scarlett going up. And for the first time in this game, folks, one body has themselves the lead. So slowing it down maybe is Critton. Here comes Edgecombe going up, and finishing is Edgecombe.
These breakaways have been key for this one-body team. They've really been capitalizing on these turnovers.
It is a 10-0 run for one body. It was 17-11. All of a sudden, it's 21-17. To the Hoop Squad answer. Up top working, Edgecombe and Scarlett double teaming. DeWilt covering. It's Critton up top. They need something here with Will McCoy. Critton off the front iron. McCoy doesn't corral it. And finally, to slow down, it seems to be a Hoop Squad possession. And I'm hearing timeout, and it will be. Boy, what a moment now. These are one of the runs we talked about. A 10-0 run is nothing, or excuse me, a 10-0 lead in basketball is really nothing anymore when we see it was a 17-11 ball game, and a minute and a half later, Jonathan, it's a 21-17 ball game.
These teams are incredibly fast. I mean, again, you look at those two breakaways that one body capitalized on to be able to even up the game. I mean, again, it's not about just getting that turnover. It's also about how fast can you get to the other side to get that shot that's going to get you closer, to evening it up. And they did exactly that. Again, one body, both in the previous game and in this game. So they're a great program with great fundamentals. And here they are. They're in a groove. There's communication happening. There's movement happening. And now they're in the lead.
And again, this is the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament, hosted by the U.S. Amateur Basketball Association, and we are out here at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus out in Pasco County, Florida. I'm Billy Adams, alongside Jonathan Torres, bringing you some high school, middle school, and any kind of basketball action at this point. We're doing a bracket style today with elimination games all day long. We got to decide a champion later on around 2 and 4:40 p.m. in different age groups. And right now, folks, we've already set the tone. The Lakeland Fire got themselves a victory against the young one-body squad, but it did not come without its challenges, however. They were up by 18, lost their lead down to 5, and right now a second one-body squad is making a run themselves. They were down by 6 earlier in this contest, and it is now 21-17 after a 10-0 run, and now, maybe, just maybe, a chance for the Hoop Squad to extend their lead once again. Hoop Squad going to need some reassurance here. Maybe something's got to go in, and finally it does, thanks to Wade Kirk. 21-18 is the advantage now. 6.5 minutes remain here in half number 1. It'll be Atari working up top here with DeWilt. Edgecombe has been one to watch, folks. He has 8 consecutive points on this 10-0 run. Little takeaway here coming back the other way. And a nice stop there by Atari. Nearly at a fast break coming from Will McCoy. Squad going to throw it in. 6:11 remains. It's Jaden Forbes working up top, guarded by Vargas. We've seen Critton. He's getting a little bit hot earlier. And right now, he's staying steady. So work up top, take their time, maybe run plays. Remember, no shot clock in this league, so nonetheless, we've got plenty of time. We've got time to kill, maybe pitch a tent, make some dinner. Whatever you want, Critton's got the offensive board. Puts it back once again, and after 2 tries, he'll go to the line. It's like a foul called there on DeWilt, and it should be the 15th foul coming for one body. Looks like it'll be DeWilt, Vargas, Stein, Edgecombe, and Atari on the floor. And now it looks like Ferguson's going to check in for this squad. Critton with his second attempt. So 2 for 2. And all of a sudden, folks, it was a 21-17 lead. It's now 21-20. Atari, though, looking to extend. And that rolls in there for Sammy Atari. Back the other way, wasting no time as Forbes. Down they go with McCoy. Critton watching it go away. It's Atari. Have the basket, have the steal. Can he get another? He doesn't. And Forbes corrals it in. The Hoop Squad trying to maintain possession, and they do. Atari fighting right in front of your eyes. Atari and Forbes going at it. A lot of contact. Vargas will end up with it. Vargas kicks it out. You don't want Edgecombe to shoot it wide open like that.
No, can't leave that man open.
And boy, they got lucky there. Edgecombe was inches away from getting his third three of the half. Here's McCoy. Just short. Atari with the board. Edgecombe going quick, going strong, and finishing strong. It's Aiden Edgecombe.
Well, he's saying, if you're not going to let me shoot it, I'm just going to run it in.
I mean, he can do it all. He can pass, he can steal, he can shoot inside, outside. Such a dynamic player at such a young age.
Definitely the driving force on this team. I mean, this team very talented. Obviously, came back from a deficit. They had the goods in all positions, but he is a standout.
And Zariah Critton, the standout on the other side, that is the Hoop Squad. He's got 6 points already. It's a 25-22 deficit for the Hoop Squad as Edgecombe tries to extend and extends his team's lead. One body was down by 6 at one point, and now they're up by 6. Aiden Edgecombe helping extend the lead, and it looks like we have a foul on that one-body squad. It's Sammy Atari. So they're up by 6, and they also have 16 fouls. Got to be careful to enter the bonus at some point for the Hoop Squad. Back the other way, it's DeVoe working outside. That shot's off the mark. Ill-advised pass, and finally the Hoop Squad end up with the ball. It's back the other way. Lawhorn kicks it out. Forbes just short. Here comes Edgecombe. You don't want him going down and pressing. Edgecombe goes up and finishes. Aiden Edgecombe, folks, believe it or not, he's got 18 points in this half. 18 of his team's 30. Here's DeVoe. He had a couple early baskets. Kicks it out. Putting it up. And unfortunately missing on the Hoop Squad side, it was Ream. Atari wants a mid-ranger. That one's blocked. Ferguson can't corral. Back down the other way, it's Forbes. Guarded by Vargas. Forbes had some contact. No foul. I think the fans wanted a foul and did not get it. Here comes Vargas. He'll take it himself. Trying to find Stein. We're back the other way. Forbes going down. Lays it up. And lays it in as Forbes.
I was just going to say, Hoop Squad's not having a problem getting the ball. Possession is not the issue. The problem is they can't seem to get it into the net. They're having trouble kind of finding that groove again that they had at the beginning of the game, now that they've lost the lead.
And we've seen multiple offensive opportunities and really multiple second chance points coming from this Hoop Squad. It's really about execution, right? And part of that comes with being a younger age. You're learning problem solving, and in the game of basketball, you have to find different ways to finish, right? It can't be a one-dimensional way to finish at the basket. Otherwise, you're going to get stopped every time. And that's the adjustment these kids are having to make because I'm sure one way works, in their specific region, in their specific county because, defensive styles are different. But there's a wide range of defense being played in this tournament. And in this case, instead of just finishing on the inside, which it seems like that Hoop Squad likes to do, they're having to rely on their outside shot more. Unfortunately, it's just not falling.
Yeah, you have the roster there, but 0 for, Hoop Squad. He's dangerous from the perimeter. He's absolutely dangerous from the perimeter. But the other guys, they seem to keep having to fight to go into the paint, and it's just not working out for them.
One guy who is strong on the mid, close, and far range is Edgecombe, but he loses it there. Taken away by the Hoop Squad. Maybe some momentum they need. DeVoe, one of those shooters. There's that perimeter player you talked about in Forbes. Up top and working. And finally finishing. It's Carmelo Williams.
And I just don't understand how you leave Edgecombe unguarded or even just a one-on-one. He's the kind of guy you need to double team. And number 11 is struggling to keep up with him.
Might even need a triple team for Edgecombe, as we might have had a foul on the floor, and we did. Carmelo Williams is going to be called for that one. It's the third team foul of the half. Anytime you have a basketball player named Carmelo on the floor, it's probably going to be good things happening to the Hoop Squad. Trying to get all the help they can. Right now, the deficit is 4, and for one body, Aiden Stein checks back in. They're looking to extend their lead to 6, maybe 7, but Edgecombe, and I think that was Aiden Zanutis, they were not on the same page. Under 2 minutes remaining now, folks. We're We're in the crunch time zone of this first half. DeVoe will take it up. He'll work up top. He's got help from Lawhorn and Forbes. A screen from McCoy.
Yep.
Good pick up there. Here we go. It's Williams. He's got a wide open Forbes. Forbes wanted the shot, but a nice closeout coming from Ferguson. Williams somehow gets it back. DeVoe left all alone. That one too strong. The offensive rebound from Lawhorn. Reset with Forbes.
Oh.
And again, the execution, Jonathan, just not there on the other end. Here we go. Zanutis, he's left all alone. Transition basket, no good. Might have been the possession that the Hoop Squad needed.
Can't lose the ball.
And I say that, and you can't lose it. 3-on-3, get it right back. They're just playing a game of pass in the backyard at this point. Here's Forbes. Can't make it happen. McCoy fights for it. It's the Hatfields and McCoys. McCoy's winning. Here we go. Somebody's got to make it, right? And that will not happen. Lawhorn off the mark. Back the other way. Ferguson watches that one fall out of place. So 5 shots were created there by the Hoop Squad in the last 2 possessions, and they were 0 for 5 on those strips. 33 seconds remain. Still, though, a 4-point game, and the Hoop Squad will have possession. Time is 10:12 Eastern time again. This is the Florida Athletics Network here live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. All kinds of action going on today. And I think we had a travel violation on the floor. Bracket style all day long, so elimination games going to be happening each and every game until we crown ourselves a champion.
Yeah, now this is a pool game, I believe, according to the schedule. But we are going to be having elimination games here.
Ferguson will work inside against 2 defenders, and not before he draws some contact. Jump ball, it'll go to the Hoop Squad.
Now, for those of you watching at home, our next 2 games are going to be boys varsity games, so those are going to be exciting games to watch. You won't want to miss those. The 3 games, I think, that we had of boys varsity from yesterday were just phenomenal basketball games.
Got to watch a Southwest Florida team, watch an older Hoop Squad team, and a one-body team, and I got to say, one player I can't wait to watch, really 2, is the combination of Joe Philon and Jason Johnson. Saw a lot of acrobatic finishes for their squad yesterday, and they will play just here in a couple of hours. But nonetheless, folks, first game we saw an 18-point lead down to 5, and a 9-point win for Lakeland. And right now, it has been a back-and-forth affair, true to the word of even between both of these teams. It's a one-body squad who is down by 6. They hold a 4-point lead against a Hoop Squad that just needs a little bit of help on the outside range of the basket. Nonetheless, folks, this is the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament here at the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus down in Pasco County. Billy Adams alongside Jonathan Torres. We're going to take a halftime break, and we're going to be back with some more action, folks. Don't go anywhere, because it's anyone's ball game here in this pool play style. We're back for more after this. underway here at the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament. Game 2 of today's multiple game slate, couple pool play games early on, a couple elimination games later on until we decide a de facto champion. Right now, however, both of these teams playing like it's their last and going back and forth. Somebody has to win, but Jonathan, I'm kind of worried. I don't know if both of these teams, I don't know who's going to win, to be honest with you, because both of these teams are just playing so evenly. This might be, and I say might because there were some games we thought were actually, evenly matched yesterday. But I really think this game might be the most evenly matched we've seen.
Well, the true test was the last, 7 to 5 minutes, right? Because that's where you tended to see one of the teams lose steam and that gap open up. And again, we only had one game yesterday that did not end with 2 minutes on the clock. Meaning that there was a 20-point lead there per the rules of the tournament. And I think we're going to see a lot less of that today. These two teams evenly matched. I couldn't tell you any team, I think, even based on yesterday's games, who is a true standout team in this tournament.
The one I can definitely think of was the early Southwest Florida Hoopsquad that we saw. They had a tremendous start, but ultimately fell later in the session as well. They had a tough game too. So again, fatigue is something to keep an eye on for these kids. And it's not only the second game that we're worried about. It's the fact that today is the second day of this entire tournament. So fatigue could even set in quite early, depending on which player we're watching and which team we're watching, that is. But right now, it's a 30-28 contest. Lead has been as large as 6 for both teams. It was a commanding 6-point lead, though, early for the Hoopsquad until one bot had a tremendous run by Aiden Edgecombe, who scored 18 points in that first half. And Edgecombe is going to be one to watch along with Naeem Scarlett, who are both currently on the floor, along with Aiden Zanudis, Zachary DeWilt, and Aiden Stein.
Edgecombe's been a major problem for this Hoopsquad team. And, to your point, it's not even just, who's tired today. It's also who's not injured, right? And that's also going to play a major factor in what the results are today.
And how about it? We called his name, Jonathan Edgecombe, coming back with the follow-through. He puts his team up by 5. Here we go. Critton needs a quick shot. Working with Ford. That one off the side iron. Rebound to Reams. Guarded by DeWilt nicely. Trying to stop the paint momentum. And I believe DeWilt's going to get the foul.
Well, right now, Hoopsquad needs to find some momentum. They need to find whatever it is that's going to get them into a scoring run, because that's what they haven't been able to develop. They haven't been able to develop the momentum to keep the points coming on the board, and that's how they lost the lead.
So DeWilt picks up that foul, which should be his second of the game. It's the second team foul of the half. 14:23 remains now in this contest. And in these games, it's funny, 2 16-minute periods feels like such a long time, and they just fly by like that in the blink of an eye. So again, no lead is safe. And once again, we have a foul on the floor. I think DeWilt might have gotten called for a foul again. Dangerous territory. He's got 3 fouls, and he's livid. He is not happy. He's begging and pleading. He's got 3 fouls. So 3 fouls on DeWilt, 3 team fouls now on the one-body squad. Forbes has been waiting in the corner. At some point, his shot has got to get going. DeVoe, the turnaround jumper. Good defense there. And a corralled-in rebound by DeWilt.
Well, he was hot early in the game, and he just kind of lost it.
You know who hasn't lost it, though, is Edgecombe. I like the shot despite the miss. Critton back the other way. Scarlett to guard. The putback unsuccessful. We saw Wade Kirk with some contact. And I think we saw some more contact with Scarlett. Wade Kirk can be called for the foul. Should be the second team foul coming for the Hoopsquad. First foul for Wade Kirk. Haven't seen too much of him. Should be playing some heftier minutes here in the second half. And up top, it's Zanudis. Deep 3. Tapped it in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10:24 on a Sunday, but the bank is open. Here's Forbes, very shifty, nifty, hasn't gotten a shot to fall. Wade Kirk, though, gets his shot to fall. So Kirk, we called his name, he's putting it on the board. The lead is now 5. Once again, the even-paced flow is back at it. Zanudis nearly out of travel, had to let it go. And now Critton on the other end. Falls out of the hand, gets it back, puts it up. Here's DeVoe with some help. Forbes driving, nearly travels. Zanudis puts it up. Edgecombe going back and finishing strong. Is it an Edgecombe?
You can't leave him open like that. You just can't leave him alone. You can't leave him open. And too often, Edgecombe is just wide open.
Boy, and I'm not even impressed by that shot. I don't know how he kept his footing with all that momentum. He was running so fast. Here's Scarlett trying to work with DeWilt. DeWilt wants the basket. Nearly, I thought he drew a foul there for a second. So much contact. And nonetheless, we continue playing.
Well, it's one of those things, the big guys are always, going to have trouble getting those fouls called on them, and it's just a big guy thing. You hear it from Barkley, you hear it from Shaq all the time. When you're the big guy in the middle of the court, those refs are not going to be as generous in calling those fouls for you.
Well, they haven't been generous to DeWilt. We saw 2 quick fouls called on him a couple possessions ago, so I know frustration looming in just a bit.
Well, they'll call them against you. They just won't call them for you.
Plenty of times they do, as we saw Forbes finally getting in the basket. So Forbes gets himself a bucket. The lead is now just 5, as Zanudis will take it up against Critton. And it's like change of play, folks. Full court pressure coming. Forbes, he's going to the basket and finishes it. Forbes! Look alive, folks. Jaden Forbes, back-to-back buckets. And the lead is only 3.
He needs to get hot for this Hoopsquad team. This could be the play to do it. He was their score maker early on in the game, and not only with his and one, but even just such an amazing shot he just had there. Hopefully that'll get him fired up to make this a tight contest.
And one thing I liked yesterday when we had your good friend Jerome Alexander on the broadcast, he talked about the permeation of play. When one player plays well, everybody begins playing well. And I think all the Hoopsquad needed was a boast of confidence from one guy. Yep. And it seems like Jaden Forbes might be that boast of confidence that was needed.
You need that Braveheart moment, or the Patriot. Pick your Mel Gibson moment.
Mel Gibson, Brad Pitt,
Pick your Mel Gibson moment there between Braveheart or the Patriot, but you need that one guy that's going to lead the charge and take you in the battle and make it a contest.
You can have your Braveheart moment, or, sometimes you have your George Washington moment where you say, you know what, I just want to go home. But that's not the mentality today. Nobody wants to go home, folks. Everybody, as Alexander Hamilton says, they don't want to throw away their shot. They want to win it. And right now, we had a heck of a battle in game number 1 with the Lakeland Fire winning by 9, despite having a heavy heated contest coming from the younger one-body squad. And now the older one-body squad, they don't want to go home either. They're playing hard. They were down by 6. They've led by 6. And they continue to lead here in the second half, thanks to big help from Aiden Edgecombe. The Hoopsquad, though, not going anywhere thanks to a quick run from Jaden Forbes. So, folks, continue to strap in because we've got a heck of a battle coming. One of the more even-keeled matchups we have had all day and all tournament long. And up top now, it's Zanudis.
I need to ask Tournament Director Jeff Foss if they do an MVP. And if they do, I'd be putting Edgecombe on that list.
Give me Aiden Edgecombe, please. I know how good Joe Philon played, but Aiden Edgecombe has been the heart and soul of this one-body squad. They're working him inside with some cuts. Aiden Stein works outside as it's a defensive rebound, but a fight coming, and I think Edgecombe got called for the foul. And he was. So Edgecombe called for the foul. Looks like we'll have Sammy Atari checking back in on this one-body squad. And Edgecombe finally going to get a breather, maybe get in some oxygen. Just a little.
Well, and I think that's exactly the kind of move you want to make at this point in the game. You've got a little bit of a lead, which is fine. If you get into trouble, you can always bring him back in. But if you can at least hold on to that lead, you bring him back refreshed towards the end of the game to seal the deal.
You need your prime players ready for a home stretch run. And down the stretch with Sammy Atari, but not before he got fouled. Should be a foul, I believe. Thought it would be on DeVoe, but actually it's going to be on Carmelo Williams. He'll grab his second foul. It's the third team foul of the half coming for the Hoop Squad. Atari to the line for the first time, and he is successful. Free throws, I got to mention too, we're just a game and a half in, look a lot better than yesterday. I mentioned 43% of the total free throw attempts were made in yesterday's tournament. Wow. It's astounding. It is astounding that happened. But again, a lot of fatigue setting in, especially later in these contests. And I know free throws are harder to make, especially when you're under duress and you're under stress.
They were just missing all day. I mean, it wasn't until later in the day that we started seeing guys get a little more consistent, getting those in there and capitalizing on those. But, yeah, today, definitely a big difference.
Hoop Squad trying to make a difference in their offensive presence right now. We see Jaden Forbes. Again, he's got 6 of the last 8 points for the Hoop Squad. Forbes is breathing life into what was a depleted Hoop Squad mentality moments ago. Stein working in on Williams. Blocked by Williams. Back the other way we go. And it's Atari. The old school Atari going back in, going in. It's Sammy Atari. Old things never die, and you hear Atari, and it's Sammy Atari, a 5-point lead once again. The kick out, unsuccessful, and now we reset here with Forbes. Should be a foul on the inside, I believe, after a drive by Jalen Forbes, and finally a chance for somebody to slow down. A foul going to be called towards Nyree Scarlett. It'll be his first foul of the half, and the 6th of the half. Forbes at the line. He's now got 7 of the last 9 points, so starting to become a showdown between Aiden Edgecombe now and Jaden Forbes, folks. A 4-point lead now. It could be 3, depending on this free throw. And it is down to 3, so again, despite one body's presence in the lead, Hoop Squad not going anywhere. Any kind of insurance is going to have to result in a couple of stops. And making a stop, there's Forbes. We're back the other way. DeVoe going to work with Forbes. Half-court pressure coming. It's Carmelo Williams on the outside. Forbes and DeVoe. DeVoe finishing, and it's a 1-point contest. Could this be an overtime matchup potentially?
Well, you called it yesterday if it is.
Zanudis off the mark. Atari getting grabbed just about everywhere in the shoulder, and he should go to the line.
Making like Pong, getting bounced around a little bit in there.
Oh my goodness, not the Atari reference. So that'll be a foul on Benjamin DeVoe, and Sammy Atari finds himself at the line for the 2nd consecutive time. First attempt is good. He's now 3 for 3. It's to Wilt and Edgecombe, 2 of what I would say the base players of this team, with the Wilt being a prime suspect off the bench. Edgecombe obviously being the star-studded player he is. They're going to gun back in. 43-41 is your lead. 9:28 remains, and the Atari remains up top. Back the other way we go with Forbes working up top. Wade Kirk checks in. Carmelo Williams up top. Maybe a little bit of mellow presence. And it looks like we got some contact on the floor. So Wade Kirk, who just checked in, he's called for that foul. Already the 15th foul coming on the Hoop Squad. Zanudis and Atari working well. Atari has had some success in the paint when it comes to drawing contact. It might be the move trying to maybe draw some fouls. Scarlett up top. He's the facilitator. Edgecombe. Atari. Again, trying to draw some contact. He's unsuccessful in that nature. And Critton will get a piece of action, and finally sitting down is Jaden Forbes. Jaden Forbes getting a much-deserved breather. Here we go, Edgecombe. You can't leave the left side open for Edgecombe.
No way.
That is the result every single time. He's got 24.
That's his lane. You're not going to take it from him.
Edgecombe working both ways on the defensive side. He's guarding DeVoe with some help defense. Working up top, it's DeVoe. He was working off ball a lot in the first half and more on ball here in the second. Change of direction and play. And a foul being called on the floor, and it's going to be Zanudis. So the fourth foul coming on Hayden Zanudis. 7th team foul coming for the one-body squad. Going to have the substitution and much needed to avoid some late foul trouble here. Zanudis, such a key role in this offense and defensive side for one body. They're going to need him late in the stretch. And still plenty of time, 8:13 remaining here in this contest. First free throw attempt was good on the side of Wade Kirk. And Kirk will make 2 of 2, so he will keep his team within striking distance at a 46-43 disadvantage. We saw DeWilt check back in. Remember, he had 3 fouls. Here's Atari. A couple early free throws here in the half, and has yet to find a basket. Here's Critton. And Critton will be fouled this time. It's going to be by Atari. That is 3 on Atari. That's 18 fouls now. So we've entered the bonus territory. So this is going to be a little bit dangerous. Still 7:55 remaining. And with the Hoopsquad being in the bonus, Jonathan, that's the time to strike and strike hard when it comes to drawing contact.
Yeah, this is a situation that one body wants to be in, especially given how hard they fought to get this lead in this game. And at this point in the game, it can get real dangerous for them. Because they're definitely going to go all the way. No 2-minute termination clock in this game.
So all of a sudden, you had a lead, but it doesn't feel like you're in control. A lot of the pieces turning towards the Hoopsquad as Atari drives, working with DeWilt. And hey, DeWilt should be on the smiling end. He finally gets a foul to go his way. Carmelo Williams with his third. That's the 16th foul of the half, and the Hoopsquad now going to watch DeWilt shoot some free throws.
Well, again, if they're not giving you the opportunity to shoot it, make that opportunity, even if that means drawing the foul, especially at this point in the game. That point is going to be incredibly valuable down the stretch here as we look at the last 7.5 minutes.
11, now 12 free throw attempts in total for this game. Just 2 have been missed. So a much improved free throw shooting start to this day, especially for both of these squads. Jaden Forbes is checked back in to note Carmelo Williams working on the other end. Here comes that fast-paced offense led by Edgecombe going up, and he is going to be fouled, and you do not want him to go to the line.
I don't know what's worse, letting him go free and clear down the lane or getting him on the line. I mean, he's just so dangerous no matter where he's at.
Well, if there's a basketball and there's a court, then Aiden Edgecombe is more than likely going to be successful. He has played that well this entire tournament, and again, folks, he's closing in on 30 points for this game alone. It is a 49-45 advantage. Aiden Stein checking in now for the one-body squad. Mary Scarlett going to sit down and take a breather. Edgecombe with some full-court pressure on DeVoe. This has been a matchup of the game. A soft pass. Aiden Stein checking in and forcing a cross turnover there with help from Edgecombe.
Well, Edgecombe just has the speed on him, you know what I mean? He can keep up just fine with him.
And that's the frustrating part. Sometimes, Jonathan, there are things you just can't teach in the game of basketball, and speed like that is one of them. Here we go, trying to apply some speed themselves is the Hoopsquad. DeVoe up top. And sometimes he moves just a little too quick, and it causes himself to travel. Looks like DeVoe a bit confused on the call. A 5-point deficit, and this is not what the Hoopsquad needed.
Man, not a call we saw a lot yesterday either. I think we had 1, maybe 2 travel calls yesterday.
The traveling has been the name of the game in terms of turnovers in this one. The first game, it was double dribble. And it could be attested just to the age group, a little bit younger kids in the first game, 8th graders. and this being high school. Step back jumper, no good. Carmelo Williams, though, fighting over two defenders and successful, and it's Critton up top working against Atari. Critton goes up and finishes, and I got to say, Sammy Atari, he's got to be careful. He's got 3 fouls, and I think that's why we saw a little bit softer coverage. Still Wilt had an open lane to the basket, but instead it's a timeout by the one-body squad. So, we have a time and a chance to breathe.
Yeah.
And boy, this has been a topsy-turvy game thus far, and nonetheless, what could be, I feel like, a 10 or 12-point lead by this one-body squad with the control that they've had in the second half. It's only within 3, and that's a lot of credit, I think, to the Hoop Squad. They've taken advantage. They've gotten a couple turnovers, a couple of forced baskets off of those turnovers. And more importantly, up until recently, they had an 8-3 foul advantage. So they've really been able to draw some good contact.
Well, and especially with a standout like Edgecombe on the one-body side, I mean, it has not been easy for Hoop Squad to fight in this game. Again, they had that early lead. I think they can close this gap, if they are able to shut down Edgecombe. That's just the task. How do you stop them? Because you don't want to leave any of their other guys open. It's a well-balanced team, but Edgecombe is just dangerous no matter where you leave him.
Well, the only way at this point you can stop him is you take away his left hand. I mean, he's so dangerous and he's so crafty with the left-hander. Right now, as you see Edgecombe nearly losing the ball, Aiden Stein able to corral it in. This is a possession that one body can take advantage of, build some insurance, and Edgecombe over two defenders nearly got that one in. Still a 3-point game. This could be the tying possession. You see Jaden Forbes up top working with Gavin Lawhorn. It'll be Lawhorn, Critton, DeVoe, Forbes. Here's Critton. He wanted a basket. Stein can't corral it. Critton has the momentum down the floor. Atari takes it back. It'll be Atari. A wide open Edgecombe. Too strong. DeWilt gets it back. DeWilt goes up. No foul called on the contact. And I think they called DeWilt.
Now, the more costly possession there, was it Hoop Squad or was it one body? Because that, to me, those two possessions right there, incredibly important, could have been the difference makers there, and both of them were not able to capitalize on it.
It was a near foul call, but they just called it out of bounds off of the body of Azira Critton. You see DeWilt setting some screen action. Atari, mid-ranger, and a beautiful little free throw jumper there from Sammy Atari. Much-needed basket for one body. How will the response come from the Hoop Squad? Here's Jaden Forbes up top. There's your answer, folks. It's a 3 and a 2-point ball game. 5 minutes remaining, and it's going to be an entertaining 5, folks. Do not go anywhere here on the Florida Athletics Network. Quick answer there and a response coming from Aiden Stein. Really got to guard that if you're the Hoop Squad. Now the response coming again. It'll be DeVoe working up top against Edgecombe. Lawhorn with some help from Carmelo Williams. DeWilt closing the gap. Atari, breakaway speed from Sammy Atari. Misses the open layup. You got to get it in, and he just does with the second chance opportunity. Scary moment from Sammy Atari. Everybody with a gasp of air.
He was all by himself on that one.
All by himself. Sometimes the nerves get to you. Edgecombe doesn't let the nerves get to him. And it's going to be a blocking foul and 2 free throws coming for Aiden Edgecombe. And a little shaken up on the play after contact, I think, was Gavin Lawhorn. So Lawhorn going to pick up the foul. It was his first of the afternoon, and the 18th foul coming Edgecombe. Again, a man you do not want to get 3 baskets to, though, going back to the line, and he's eclipsing 30 total points. 57-50. This is the largest lead we have seen in this entire contest. And now make it 8 for Edgecombe as he watches his team pull away with insurance. So Lawhorn sitting down, but rising up is going to be Wade Kirk. So Kirk checking back in after Lawhorn sits down, and a much-needed three is going to within 5. Here's Atari working. Ferguson checking in most recently. Edgecombe wanted a three, and it's off the mark. Here comes Critton. Fast-paced transition. He wants it himself to Kirk. Blocked there. It was Ferguson. And that one may have rolled off of Critton. It'll be Nyree Scarlett who checked back in as well with the inbound. Ferguson. Oh, nice move and a delay by Ferguson. Over 2 defenders. Here's DeVoe working up top. Forbes the drive, the floater. And just too strong, gets his own miss, puts it up. And not before Forbes will draw the foul. They're going to call that one on Tyler Vargas, his first of the afternoon, 9th team foul. And again, we're in the bonus territory for every team, so 9 and 8 are the total team fouls between each. And we're going to be shooting 2 free throws for the rest of this matchup. As much as we've talked about Aiden Edgecombe being so strong in the one-body squad, it's also been Jaden Forbes on this Hoop squad coming alive. He's got 10 points in this half now, trying to make it 11. The lead is now 6. He could make it 5. We had a quick substitution. Instead, we got a quick timeout from the Hoop squad. So now, Jonathan, a 5-point advantage for one body. However, as much insurance as they've built, they got up to an 8-point lead. It just seems like, I don't know, it seems like this Hoop squad keeps inching their way back, and they find a way to really facilitate some baskets and, get open opportunities.
And when they're hot, I mean, again, they're unstoppable. I mean, they've been able to get on these short runs, get the points on the board, keep the game interesting. What they can't seem to figure out is how to stop this one-body team from scoring on their end. The defensive side have been the flaws in their game. Edgecombe is a problem, and Atari has been a problem, and they can't seem to quite figure out how to stop them, and that's going to be their downfall in this game if they're not able to catch up.
Again, the time is 10:47 a.m. Eastern time, folks. We are early in the morning, just getting started, and have already had 2 great matchups. This is Game 2 of the Conrad P. Foss Memorial Tournament here in the Wiregrass Ranch Sports Campus of Pasco County, hosted by the U.S. Amateur Basketball Association, and you are watching live on the Florida Athletics Networks. Appreciate you watching from Twitch, Facebook Live, or YouTube, trying to make sure this is accessible to all, and to all it is. We have some great basketball action all day long with some elimination games coming up, so every single game is going to matter, and every game has mattered. And these players playing like it's their last every single time. This one has been one of the better matchups we have seen today. Nyree Scarlett working along. We see Zanudis checking back in for the first time in about 8 minutes. Doesn't matter. Here comes Forbes.
Oh, great steal. And again, that's shutting down your best guy. That's what one body needs to do, but go the opposite way. That's how you shut down Edgecombe. And that's how you shut down Atari. And Hoopsquad hasn't been able to figure out how to do that.
And we did mention Edgecombe. We've said his name about 1 million times in this contest, but how could we not? It's almost eclipsed 30 points, and he is doing it all. And Sammy Atari's been coming alive as well, coming off to that bench. He's got a couple baskets and a couple free throws here in this second half, but Critton nearly had the reverse finish, and that one rolled out of play. And here is a chance for this one-body squad to provide some insurance with their 5-point lead. 2.5 minutes remain. Again, no shot clock, so they can take as much time as they need to play some basketball. Here's Atari. We mentioned his name, and how about it? Finished on the left side with the right hand was Atari, so opening up a bag of tricks to extend their lead.
Well, and that takes the pressure off of Edgecombe, which, again, creates opportunities for him as well.
Here's some pressure, though, provided. Forbes that time got the steal. Critton working on the outside, and Critton will get it back. Going up, and some nice nifty footwork there from Azira Critton. Working up top, Zanutis saw the pass. Scarlett gets Stein. Scarlett back on the other end. He's double teamed in the paint. Fighting for it is Critton. And I think somebody stepped out. .145 remains, still a 5-point contest. It's anybody's ball game. Possession right now to one body. That one's a little bit of a dangerous pass, but nonetheless, Sammy Atari wound up with possession. And clearly you see a slower pace of play coming on this side of one body. They're trying to take their time, trying to draw out a possession. Atari wanted it. Instead, it's Stein and Scarlett up top. Scarlett double teamed. The trap coming. Jaden Forbes and Critton working up top on the defensive side. Edgecombe, a guy you don't want to get the ball, and that's the reason why it's a 7-point advantage once more. Here's Critton working on Atari. Critton with the height advantage and using that wingspan to his delight. Azira Critton stamping his name of approval, and he has the basket, and it is a 5-point contest.
I was waiting for the I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm like, wait a second.
You know, I was staring at it too, just waiting on it. Did that basket not count? It's funny. I think there was confusion on the score too. Oh my goodness. It is 59-64, folks. That is confirmed. I was about to say, we were looking at it. It was a 7-point lead for about 2 minutes there, and finally getting a basket. But got to give a lot of credit, folks. This one-body squad were down by 6 majority of the half, had their own 6-point lead, and since then have only had a lead as high as 8. We have not seen a double-digit lead in this contest, which is new for us, because we've seen it in every single one, despite how competitive it has been. Full-court pressure coming in this final minute of play. Zanutis going up. Zanutis gets his own miss, cannot corral. Aiden Stein with the basket, and it is unsuccessful. Here comes Critton, had the last basket, can't get it, gets his own miss once more, and 2 offensive boards unsuccessful for Azira Critton.
No fouls being called.
No fouls at all. They are letting them play. Here's DeVoe. Jaden Forbes all alone. Critton with the basket finally with that offensive board. And boy, the Hoopsquad should just stamp the name as Azira Critton. He's got back-to-back baskets after what I felt like Jonathan. It was just endless opportunities.
Man, too many missed opportunities there, man. They have to clean up those shots. Zero for Hoopsquad there. Lost his mojo, man. He was hot at the start of the game, and I don't know what happened. I mean, he would have hit that three-pointer, again in the first half. I mean, that's how hot he was. And he's just slightly off, and that's going to happen sometimes. But great job with the follow-up and the rebound there to get some points on the board, make it a 3-point game here, keeping it real interesting with less than 30 seconds on the clock.
And the thing to take note of here, too, there are no fouls to give. Every foul results in a free throw line trip for either squad. So, for the Hoop Squad, they're going to need some defense here unless it gets down to the absolute desperate time to get a foul. Right now, though, a successful strip on the other half-court end.
Triple man on
Nearly taking it away was Critton, but a timeout coming for the one-body squad.
Look, and I think they realize they have to triple team Edgecombe here at the very end. You cannot give him an opportunity to shoot because he will make it.
And with that, too, he was triple teamed. That meant there was a 4-on-2 at the other end. There were 4 players nearly in the paint for that one-body squad ready to put up a shot. And you can almost guarantee if they got a shot off, that might have been the game right there. So maybe, just maybe, that was a key stoppage there for the Hoop Squad to reconvene, to reevaluate what defensive stops they need. And now a chance to slow things down because we have seen this one-body squad work so well off of the fast-paced tempo.
Yep. The
slow pace has not been their friend. The Hoop Squad, however, have done better when it comes to the slow pace stuff. And now it's a chance to avoid a full-court exposure and maybe make some stops with a double team. Here we go, Vargas with the shot, and that is not what they needed. That might have been the shot of the day right there from Tyler Vargas. Interesting half-court pressure coming. Charlotte guarding. Critton over to Forbes. Forbes does not make it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will do it for game 2 of this contest. 66-61 is your ball game. And the Hoop Squad, after leading majority of the first half, are overtaken by a fast-paced, one-body squad. And that's thanks to really the tremendous play from Aiden Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean, again, this one-body team had they had the right communication going. They knew how to get their key players open, and Hoop Squad was just not able to shut down Edgecombe and Atari. And I think that was a huge difference here in this game.
Definitely the huge difference, and you see that guy there, Aiden Edgecombe, just stepping up and doing a tremendous job, a near 30-point performance. And give credit to the other end. We saw Jaden Forbes step up for the Hoop Squad when it was needed. He scored 11 points in that second half. And even Zyra Critton, who came out late, he was able to make an impact. Yeah. So that Hoop Squad did not go anywhere and did not let it get too far away.
You want to talk to Edgecombe?
You know, we could talk to Edgecombe real quick.
All right, go ahead and set that up. I'll get you over here to the camera. Billy's going to do a little one-on-one with Edgecombe here.
Now we're going to get a chance to talk with really the leading performer of this one-body squad in Mr. Aiden Edgecombe. Aiden, man, tremendous performances yesterday and today. Nearly 30 points in today's performance. You guys were down early, so a little bit of a slow start, but you really picked it up at the end of that first half and the second half. What went into that really upbeat in performance?
It just really us having the determination just to get back out here and get hungry. Because we lost the last 2, so had to get one. So just had to stay hungry, stay focused, and do what we had to do to get the dub.
And for you, man, I mean, we're watching you. You can do it all. You can play defense. You're quick getting back and forth. You can finish, and you can shoot threes. I mean, how does a player like you, how do you develop like that for yourself? Like, how much work goes in to preparing like that?
You just got to work every day, every night. Got to do the simple things in life, like just you got to shoot constantly. You got to do a lot of things to get to where you need to be, the little things. So.
And for you and your team personally, you know, you said you had a couple tough losses yesterday. It's a big win today, I feel like. It's a huge turnaround. For you personally and this team, do you feel like it instills a lot of confidence moving forward? That was a full-play game, so you stay alive in this tournament today, and you get to play later. How does that confidence feel for you?
It just feels good. We just trying to go 1-0 every game, so you just gotta just be focused. Really, I'm out of that. That's my fault.
No, you're good.
You gotta be focused. You gotta do what you gotta do. Same mindset until the next game.
Well, hey, rest up, man. Good luck with the next game. Keep playing, all right?
Thank you.
That was Aiden Edgecombe, folks, with that one-body squad. They take a 66-61 victory. We're going to move on in a couple minutes to the next game. I've been Billy Adams. That's been Jonathan Torres. I'll see you in a couple minutes here on the Florida Athletic Network.